Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the BJ and Tuds Show. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Tuds. So before we jump into NFL draft talk and kind of recap that, I know you want to hit on the Yankees and a little bit of baseball. Go ahead.
I do. So 9-game winning streak for the Yankees, three straight sweeps. Say what you want about who we're playing. Sweeping 3 series in a row is not easy at all. And especially the Guardians, our first series, they were the number one offense in multiple categories going into that series.
Right.
So the offense has picked it up immensely since like the start of the season. Judge is back. DJ's back to his 2020 form.
Yep.
And we're like, this game today that we came back and won, like we don't win this game last year.
Completely agree. I was watching it. We went down 4-1. And I was like, yeah, this is a loss. Winning streak over.
Yep.
I mean, the offense looks great.
It does. And like, throw a dart in our bullpen, they're going to produce and they're going to hold them every time. Like, everyone in our bullpen has been tremendous.
The Yankees bullpen is loaded.
It is. You can't go wrong at this point.
No, you really can't. And, you know, Chad Green hasn't given up his classic bad home run yet. It doesn't seem like. Yeah. So you're getting the good Chad Green.
And like the thing about last year is like we don't have a Nick Nelson in this bullpen that you're like, shit, why is this dude in? Like anybody that goes in, I'm okay with, and I feel confident in. And that's a great thing to have.
I agree. And I mean, I know it's still early season baseball, so I don't want to like completely overreact. Obviously, the offense isn't going to play like this for the entirety of the season.
Right. We'll get into some dips where we suck,
but it's a good sign to see we're actually getting some timely hits.
Yep.
And it's
not relying on the home run ball.
Yeah.
A lot of situational hitting.
Well, yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. Like usually when we win big, it's because we hit 5 home runs.
Yep.
So, you know, it's just nice to see that for a change.
Yeah. I saw a stat yesterday that at this point in the season yesterday, we had 0 sack flies and we had 8 by that point yesterday.
Yeah, it's just situational hitting is great.
And not to mention the defense has been night and day since last year too. Like everything has been improving.
True.
And it's showing right now.
You knew that had to be a focus in the offseason. Like the defense, like moving Glaber out of the shortstop.
Yep.
And, you know, I mean, we did get rid of Gio, but it's like Donaldson's no slouch at third. And then
absolutely not.
When he's DHing or whatever, have an off day, you just throw DJ in there, who's another Gold Glove infielder. So, I mean, the defense is clearly was a point of emphasis for them.
And yeah, another thing I want to bring up is similar to how when we finally started throwing Stanton in right field and he started producing more of the plate. Yeah. It's the same things applying to Glaber. Like, look at his numbers when he plays short compared to second. It like his stats are night and day at the plate.
Right.
Like, it's crazy to see how just little changes like that affects players' like mentality and confidence.
Baseball is so mental.
It is.
It really is. It's the smallest things make the biggest differences. It's so crazy. So crazy. I'm interested to see how big the winning streak gets.
Yeah. So
Toronto.
We're going to Toronto for 3.
There it is.
We're missing Berrios and Gausman, which I'm so happy about. Gausman looks like the Cy Young frontrunner right now.
Yeah.
But from the pitching matchups I saw, I think we take 2 out of 3.
Okay.
And I mean, you know, even winning only 1 is good after winning 9 in a row. We're set up to be fine either way.
I mean, you want to shoot to win every series, of course, but especially divisional ones.
Yep.
But I mean, Toronto, they're this podcast favorite to win the World Series.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, we know how talented Toronto is.
Yeah.
They could throw a 1-hit shutout any day, and they could go put up 10 runs on the board any given day.
Yeah, Springer's been fantastic too. And we talked about it before that they didn't get a full season of Springer last year.
Yeah.
In the full season with him, if he does stay healthy, that's huge for Toronto.
I mean, he is damn good.
Yeah.
But
Sevy today, worst start of the year for him. He wasn't very sharp.
No.
But he battled out of a lot of tough situations, and that ultimately let us win the game.
Agreed.
So even when he didn't have his best stuff, he battled through what he could, and
Agreed.
It was enough.
Yeah, right. And the starting pitching's been really good.
Very good. Yep.
I mean, Cole's been the last 2 starts. Cole's been great.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nestor Cortez is great.
Yep. Montgomery, we're always going to be in the game when he's pitching.
Yeah, Montgomery's never going to kill you. It doesn't seem.
Every time he's pitching, I know we're going to have a close game.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to give up a few, but he's not like giving up like 7 runs.
He's not going to shut out an offense, but he's good for 2 or 3 runs against every time, which sets us up to win every time.
Right. Exactly. And that's really all you can ask from a starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, truthfully. So no, I'm very happy with the recent Yankees stretch here.
Me as well. Hopefully this Toronto series, we can take at least 2 and keep it rolling.
Right. Agreed.
That's all we can ask for.
Agreed.
So let's move over to the draft. Overall, how did you enjoy this draft?
Well,
as a fan, did you enjoy it?
A football fan or a Patriots
fan? As a football fan, how not a Patriots fan. We'll get into that. we're gonna save the Patriots for the very end.
Okay.
But let's talk about as a fan, how did the draft go for you?
I liked it. I mean, I always, I do a ton of mock drafts just by myself. It seems like it went until I think like when we did our mock draft on the show, it seemed like it went how we thought it was going to go. Obviously a few players different here or there. Like we had Neil at 5, I believe, and Thibodeau at 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we had Malik Willis in the top 9, which
we did.
Crazy slide.
It is. But the thing is, it's a crazy slide, but it's not unreasonable.
It's not. It's really not.
It was just the media hyping up Malik's possibility to be up there.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee that all the coaches, their opinions didn't change on him. They probably had him as a 3rd round grade since the draft process started.
I was surprised Atlanta went with Ritter over Willis.
I was surprised at that too, but like I said during our mock drafts, Ritter was my QB1. I think he's the best in the class. So I was happy to see him go before him because I think he's better than him.
And, I like now that we're on the overall, to answer your question, I did enjoy watching this draft. But
it was a very exciting first round.
Agreed.
Very exciting. A lot of trades, a lot of big moves.
Yes. But
as a fan, I definitely enjoyed it.
Yes. But now that we're into the quarterback talk, it makes a lot of sense why Pickett was the first one off the board.
Yeah.
It's just the familiarity of him with Heinz Field, Pittsburgh, being in the area. Like, it just makes too much sense. That gives him the highest ceiling because he's the most comfortable.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Agreed. We'll start with Stingley going 3. I mean, I think it's only a bit of a shock because he was hurt all last year. Yeah. If he wasn't hurt, 3 seems kind of perfect for him. But clearly the Texans liked enough of what they saw his sophomore or junior year.
So his freshman year was his best year.
Yeah. So, I mean, and fully healthy, I do think he's better than Sauce by a little. So
I don't.
You don't? Okay.
No, I don't. Sauce Gardner allowed 4 total yards against Notre Dame and Alabama.
Yeah.
4 total yards. And like, this is when Notre Dame was, I think they were top 5. And Alabama ended up losing the national championship game with all those receivers.
Yeah.
He allowed 4 total yards. I just think for him not to be the first corner was bizarre to me, but I know Stingley was gaining a lot of traction.
Especially that last week leading into the draft, there was a lot of Stingley talk. Yeah.
A lot of Stingley talk. My thing is, you saw his best play his freshman year. Every year after that was a slight decline.
Yeah.
Where he was getting targeted more, allowing more catches per target, which it's like when you are a top 5 corner in the NFL draft, you have to be shut down in college.
All right. So before we talk Jets, I feel like we need to address Drake London being drafted first out of the receiver class.
Yeah.
Which I don't want to say blew my mind because I know how high the NFL was high on him. He's my wide receiver 5 in the class.
He was lower on my list as well.
Especially with Kyle Pitts being there. I don't get it. Wouldn't you want a Garrett Wilson to kind of have a different kind of talent there in the receiving core?
I completely agree with you.
I don't see it, man.
You know the NFL in terms of measurables and how much that matters.
Yeah.
And he has the best measurables of the receiving class.
He does, but I think he just has a bigger chance to bust than the guys around him.
I would agree. I think Wilson's the safest receiving option.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the thing with it's tough because obviously Drake London is good. Like he is a very good athlete. He's very big. He's a huge target. He's gonna be their X receiver on day one.
Yep.
The only reason I thought it was a little weird is because if you even like Olave or Jamison Williams, I mean, obviously Garrett Wilson, but that team, the Falcons have no receivers.
Yeah.
You can't just throw Drake London in the slot like you can with the rest of this receiving class.
Yep, for sure.
Wouldn't you think that's what they would want to do?
Right.
Like
exactly.
Move your rookie receiver around and like it changes your offense completely.
Yep.
So I did think it was a little bizarre to me as well.
Yeah. And like I've said in the past, like I'll always value a guy, an elite separator more than an elite catch at the high point guy, which is exactly what London is. You know, London's not even that. He's not fast. I wouldn't even say.
No. Like the thing is with him, he doesn't need that much space.
Yeah.
You know, he's an elite jump ball specialist.
Yes.
So it's
well, like I always say about him, he can be Mike Evans or he can turn into Kenny Galladay real quick. And I just don't see for the Falcons how that was the right pick at 8.
I just don't get it. I mean, obviously they valued the size more than like the sheer just ability, which I mean, hey, I get it. I do.
And they had the pick of the litter of the receiver class. So clearly they really valued that.
He was the highest on their board. They felt that was, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. So now that we talked about that, we can talk about the Jets now because they eventually came away with Garrett Wilson at 10. Great pick for them.
Yep.
Sauce at 4. They were super high on Jermaine Johnson, and they felt that
they had him in the 24. They had him on the top in the top 13 of their draft board or something like that.
Yep. Didn't even have to trade up to get him at 20. Was it 24 or 26?
26.
Or they trade up.
They traded back into the first.
Yeah, they traded back in. Yeah.
I was also shocked he slid so far.
I was scratching my head the whole first round, wondering oh, he's gonna go here. Okay, no, now he's gonna go here, and he just kept falling.
After Thibodeau, I think he's the best pass rusher, and some people had him ahead of Thibodeau.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I mean, I was shaking my head the first round too. I was a little baffled. I think he's going to be a great player.
My only explanation is that those teams in like the teens that didn't think he would be there at all already got too connected to the guys that they were looking at.
Sure.
And I think that played part in why he fell so much.
You know, I am shocked that the Patriots didn't take him at 21.
Me as well. Me as well.
I mean, that is a total Bill Belichick pick.
Yeah. There were a couple of great defenders at 21. I'm scratching my head at that we didn't take, but
yeah. Hey, what did I tell you when we did the mock draft?
No, you were 100% correct.
I mean, I thought Zion Johnson went before, so obviously
you were more correct than you would even thought you would be.
Yes.
About about the Pats making a pick that no one would ever see coming.
It's what they do.
No one knew who the fuck Cole Strange was at the time.
And they do it every year in every round.
Without fail. It's ridiculous. We'll get more into the Pats draft later.
I was just saying, like, Jermaine Johnson is a Bill Belichick type of player.
Yeah.
So I was very confused why they passed on him.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then Jets early second round get Breece Hall. Just what a tremendous start to the draft for them.
It was, besides trading up to getting Johnson, that was the ideal, like how it just fell for the Jets, it couldn't have been more picture perfect.
Couldn't at all.
Clear winners of
Clear winners.
I mean,
Garrett Wilson falling to them at 10. They probably didn't think he'd be there.
No. Yeah, I doubt they did. Yeah. But, you know, and then between them and the Eagles, in my opinion, it's like clear winners. Couldn't be any clearer to me.
Yeah, agreed.
The Jets got the number one corner, the number one receiver, the number one running back, and the number 3 edge rusher.
And like Michael Carter, he's got the potential to be good. Breece Hall's got the potential to be great. So
yeah, well,
say what you want about taking a running back there. It makes total sense.
I mean, in the way they play offense, I mean, it's what's his name? LaFleur came from San Francisco.
Yep.
They love multiple running backs. So it makes total sense.
Giants.
I mean, the Giants' first round was great.
It was. So where I had a problem, so if you value Icky and Neal the same, then they did a picture perfect.
Yes.
You take Thibodeau first, you take whatever tackle falls to you as 7.
Right.
I have Icky better than Neal. I would have taken Icky at 5 and assumed the Panthers aren't taking Thibodeau and bet that a team wouldn't trade up for Thibodeau, which is risky.
But the only reason I disagree with you is because Carolina was a prime trade back suspect.
It was
just because of like they were going from 6 to 137.
Yeah.
So they were a prime trade back suspect. So I understand why they got the best player available, or like in terms of what they, need.
Yeah.
With the 2, like of the 3 players on the board between him, Icky, and Evan Neal.
Yeah.
Take the only edge rusher, and then if whatever tackle you get, they're both great. They're the 1 and 2 tacklers of the class.
Yes. I'm a little more understandable now than I was at pick 5 during the draft.
Sure.
Because I value Icky so highly.
Right.
But it makes total sense. Take Thibodeau, have one of the top 2 tackles fall to you there.
Right. And it's just,
you can't go wrong that way. You can't mess up that way.
No. Because even if it was if Neal went 6 and then they get Icky at 7, I think they're still jumping up and down, running the card to the podium.
Yep. I could agree there.
So I think they played it perfectly.
They did. They played it the right way. Not like looking back at it, I think they did. At the time, I would have went Icky at 5, just got that dude because he's insane.
And
but Neal's no slouch either. So
no, not at all. Yeah. Not at all. And Neal's playing against SEC edge rushers. I mean, those guys are all elite.
So Saints trade up to 11.
Yep.
So I'm going to preface this by saying we mocked Olave and Trevor Penning to the Saints.
Yes.
And we hit on both. But what were your thoughts when they traded up to 11? I know I wasn't thinking Olave. I was thinking Jameson if they're going to trade up.
Well, but we talked about this. They love Ohio State receivers.
Yes, they do.
So I think they saw, because it was London went already, and then it was 2 picks later. Garrett Wilson went, and I think they were like, all right, this is the time we got to go up and get one.
They had to go up and get the receiver.
Got to go up and get one now. If that, and clearly it was a priority of their draft to go get a top 5 receiver in this class. So they didn't want to sit around and wait for Treylon Burks, who I also love, but they clearly valued Olave, the next best one.
Yep.
And they're like, let's go get our guy, which I totally understand.
Yeah. Interestingly, after that, the Lions go up to 10 and the Eagles trade up to 13. I think the Eagles trading up to 13, I could be wrong because they got A.J. Brown shortly after, which we'll talk about. But I don't think the Eagles expected Lions to go receiver at 12. And I think they were trading up, hoping to get Jameson Williams at 13. And when that fell through, I don't know. At first, I was like, wow, they're probably devastated that Jameson Williams went at 12. I heard they had the plans for A.J. Brown before that. So I'm not really positive.
I was just going to say, the only reason I disagree with you is because to convince the Tennessee Titans to trade AJ Brown from 13 to what was their next pick? 18 or something like that?
17 or something. Yeah.
I think it was 18.
Okay.
To convince them from pick 13 to 18, hey, give us AJ Brown, we'll give you 18.
Yeah.
I just don't think it happens in that short frame.
That's what I thought of after.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they probably had this in the works.
So I think they were like, this is what the Eagles do. They've always had a great interior defensive line, and they wanted to trade up and go get the best defensive interior lineman in the draft. And I don't,
especially with Fletcher Cox getting up there in age, I think.
Yeah,
just what fantastic pick.
After this year,
you can't go wrong with Jordan Davis anywhere in this draft.
No, really. I think after this year, they let Fletcher Cox walk.
Yep.
Let him show Jordan Davis how to play D tackle in the NFL, and then okay, thank you, you did your job.
Yeah. Either way, even if they weren't planning on going Jameson because they had AJ Brown coming in, were you surprised that they went receiver at 12? The Lions.
Yes, very.
Yeah.
Just of all the Lions need everything. So besides O-line, I do actually think the Lions offensive line is
their O-line. Yeah, their O-line's more than good. Average. I think.
So besides O-line, I was like, I get it because who was their best receiver last year? Khalif Raymond. Amon-Ra. Yes, sorry, but you can get away with, especially if you're a bottom of the barrel team, you can get away with not so great receivers.
They also signed DJ Chark, who I think sucks, but that's besides the point.
He's a middling average receiver.
Yeah.
It is what it is. But I mean, they got a hell of a playmaker when he comes back. So I mean, I'm not going to hate on the pick. I was surprised they went that way.
Yep. Clearly
they valued him very high and they saw the runner receiver and they're like, okay, let's trade up, go get him. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, and it seemed like this was one of the easiest drafts to trade up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody was so willing to trade back because it was kind of a watered down draft. Like
it was, which is why I think helped teams move back easier.
Yeah. But yeah. But once the draft starts falling, people are going to want to move up and that's how it goes every year. So I just found it a lot of trade ups. It
also depends on what, the domino starts falling. Once those receivers start going, then those needy teams move up. Well, and the teams that don't need receiver take advantage of that and move back. And that's what happened in this draft.
That's what happens. The Lions, they saw the runner receiver. They're like, oh shit, let's go get a receiver.
Yep.
It's like, okay. Hey, they wanted him. They got him. Good.
Yep. Just a little more on the AJ Brown trade. Immediately signs a 4-year, $100 million extension. Like, I love AJ Brown, but with those injury concerns, that's a lot of money you're dishing out to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's the price you had to pay to get him.
Right. The thing is, if you wanted AJ Brown, you knew you were going to have to pay him.
Yep.
And, I think what helped facilitate the trade is him and Jalen Hurts are pretty good friends.
Yeah.
And, that matters more than we think it does sometimes. So.
Yeah. And while we're talking trades, we'll talk about Hollywood now.
What are the Cardinals doing?
What are both of them doing?
It makes no sense. Especially for the Cardinals, I think they have been dumb all off season. But let's talk Ravens for a second. Your franchise quarterback, who told you he doesn't really want to talk deal right now, where you're like, well, no, we want to talk about it and give you a boatload of money. You trade away his best friend on the team.
Yeah.
And immediately his reaction is like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense that they did that. And I believe they didn't draft one single receiver in the whole draft.
It's the Rashad Bateman show.
It is.
I love Rashad Bateman. Don't get me wrong.
But still, Duvernay is their number 2. Yeah. They have a top 3 tight end in the league, and they drafted 2 more tight ends.
I was just going to say, clearly they want to go heavier personnel.
Run and use the tight ends, and I guess that fits their offense, but Duvernay is your number 2?
My thing is, they're probably going to have 2 backs, 2 tight ends, and Rashad Bateman on the field at all times.
That's what they're going to do, clearly.
It makes a lot of sense for how they're built.
It absolutely does.
But
to see them not draft a single receiver after trading Hollywood too.
Yeah, I mean,
every year they just refuse to get receivers. It's the craziest thing.
I think Hollywood is. I actually hate calling him Hollywood, and I hate that I just said that. Marquise Brown.
Yeah, we both talked about this before. We're both not high on him.
Oh, I just think he stinks. Oh, yeah. I think he stinks. But
it's this.
Is he worth 23? Like the 23rd overall pick, he's worth that to the Cardinals?
Dude, I guess so. Like the thing with that is,
so
Kyler's not happy enough right now. You're bringing his former teammate. That can be a part of it. I'm also sure they're not ecstatic with starting AJ Green after his performance last year.
I mean, would you?
No, absolutely. Like I wouldn't
have brought him back.
Yeah. I was shocked they brought him.
So
I think that was more of a safety. Have him there if we need him.
So, but I guess the whole thing that like baffled me, AJ Brown was just traded for the 18th overall pick. Right. AJ Brown, who was a great elite young wide receiver when he's healthy in the league.
Yeah.
And you trade the 23rd overall for Hollywood Brown.
I agree. That makes zero sense to me too.
It's like, what did you even call Tennessee?
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm sure if you sweeten the pot a little bit, they would have been like, we're fine with 23 in a second and whatever else there is.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Brown.
Right. The thing with Arizona's though is like they're all about speed.
Yeah.
You know, Rondale Moore. They lost Chase Edmonds, who they replaced with Keontae Ingram, who we both like. Very speedy back to fill that Chase Edmonds role. And then bringing in Brown is just more elite speed. And that's what that offense is about.
You know,
so it makes it make a little more sense to me.
You know what's more valuable than elite speed?
Catching the football.
Being able to catch the football.
Hey, I'm with you there.
I mean, he dropped 3 touchdowns against the Lions.
Like when he catches the ball, he's pretty damn good. But more than not, he doesn't catch the ball.
Right. It's like I don't know. The Cardinals all offseason, I'm like, just what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like they were the best team in the NFL for like 12 weeks, and then it was just like straight down.
It was as soon as D-Hop got hurt.
Yeah.
He was the binky.
Yeah.
He made the offense tick.
I mean, he'd be my binky if I was the quarterback as well.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. Bizarre.
But staying with the Ravens, although they made that questionable move, they had a pretty damn good first round.
First round was terrific.
Could have been better for them.
No. Linderbaum, who I love. I mean, center is a very
hard to hate.
Yeah, he's a football player. I know he's smaller, he's a little stocky, but like dude works.
Yeah, for sure. Not to mention, their secondary was horrible last year. Pairing with, I think they drafted 2 or 3 corners later in the draft.
Yes, they did.
They came away with the best safety in the draft.
Yeah.
To completely revamp that secondary.
I mean, I think at that point, he fell to 14. And they're like, well, this is our kind of safety.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know how they didn't. They definitely just sprinted to the podium. Yep. They're like, yes, we'll take Kyle Hamilton. Thank you very much, everybody. So,
so keep going.
I mean, they got the best safety and the best interior. I'll call him an interior offensive lineman in the draft.
Definitely the best center, obviously.
Well, right. But I'm saying interior just because I'm grouping the guards and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hands down the best interior offensive lineman.
Yeah, him and Zion.
On a team, Iowa, who played power football.
Yes.
So
definitely.
Now you put him with the Ravens and what they wanted, clearly what they want to do.
Yeah,
play power football, play action pass.
Yep.
Makes so much sense.
So another thing that had to do with, Baltimore not having any receivers. I was texting you about this. It didn't come to fruition.
Yes.
But, they say they weren't going to trade Kadarius Toney, the Giants. Then Baltimore trades away Hollywood. Then the next day, the Giants draft Wando Robinson, who is Kadarius Toney, just not as good.
There was I forget who was on the board for receivers, but a lot of prospects that were rated higher than Wan'Dale Robinson.
Yeah, like that, which made me think that they have to be trading Tony. Yeah. Like it makes zero sense. He's the Tony replacement. Baltimore doesn't have a receiver. I didn't understand how a deal wasn't made yet.
They had like 5 4th-rounders.
Yeah, they had 6. Baltimore had 6 4th-rounders, which is what the Giants were looking for Kadarius Toney. How was the deal not made? Like seriously,
you basically guaranteed it to me.
I did. It was a touch guarantee. Those don't fail. My mind's still blown. Watson was the first receiver taking the second, but then it was Wan'Dale, and after Wan'Dale, we're not going to talk about Thornton yet, but Pickens, Sky Moore, Alec Pierce, all better than Wan'Dale. Like Wan'Dale's good. He's a good gadget guy. He doesn't have the skills Kadarius Toney.
No, but he does the same. He can do the same things. That's what he does.
Exactly. But you have Toney, and you just re-signed Sterling Shepard. You're sitting here with 3 slot receivers now.
Yeah, I was kind of. I thought if they were going to go receiver, it would have been Alec Pierce.
I thought it would have been Sky Moore, or if they were to go. Sky
can do kind of both too.
He could.
Pierce is more of that outside guy, but they do have Kenny Golladay. The thing is,
but they have Darius Slayton on the other side, who I don't want to start him on the Giants.
I don't really understand why the Giants went receiver in the 2nd round. But
that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
so
there needs to be a move after this.
Yeah, you'd have to think.
And I still think it's coming. Like,
well, it very well could.
I'd be shocked if nothing happens after this.
It could have gotten to the 4th round. They're like, we don't really we don't love any of the prospects here that we want to get rid of Kadarius Toney's tally.
Let's work out a different deal, right?
Huh?
So they can work out a different deal that doesn't have to do with
right. So the Giants, that was a little bit of a head scratcher, but it does make me think they're going somewhere with Tony. I don't think he'll be there next year anymore.
It'd be pretty shocking if they kept all 3 of those slots.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then one more thing before we get into the Pats. The Titans, they lose AJ Brown, but they get kind of a perfect replacement in Treylon Burks. Elite after the catch talent.
Yep.
A big target.
Can play everywhere.
Kind of exactly what they needed there. And they end up having their quarterback of the future fall to them in the 3rd round with Malik Willis.
If you're Ryan Tannehill, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think the writing's on the wall for him. I think he has to know. It's not like he had a great year last year anyway.
No. And, the thing with the way they want to play offense, Malik Willis makes so much more sense.
Yes. I think Tannehill will still have a job after the Titans. I think he's going to turn into a bridge. I think he'll turn into a bridge quarterback.
Absolutely. But Tannehill he is mobile. But Malik Willis is a whole different type of mobile.
A whole different type. Yep. 100%.
And now you have let's just say you're running the read option just because everybody knows what that is. Malik Willis and Derrick Henry running a read option is lethal. So if I'm Tannehill, I don't think Malik Willis will play this year.
No shot. No.
I'm not going to say no shot.
I'm gonna,
because if the Titans start struggling early, they start struggling early, and they lose, they start falling behind, they're losing games they should win. At that point, once it gets to the trade deadline, somebody's going to be looking for a quarterback. Tannehill could be that option.
Okay, if they're out of playoff contention,
he's kind of in that Jimmy Garoppolo area where we thought last year, where it heated up at the deadline. Oh, Jimmy's going to go somewhere. It obviously didn't, but I feel like he's in that kind of territory.
Yeah. All right, let's move over to the Pats. I don't think we need to address Cole Strange again. Like, everybody knows the deal with Cole Strange at this point.
So I don't think he's as bad as everybody's saying.
Right, but does he have a first round value? That's the thing.
No, he doesn't. But this about the Patriots. They don't care how you value a player or how the league values a player.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's how they valued him.
Mm-hmm.
So they went up and got him, or traded back and took him.
Yep.
But, I was reading things from different NFL executives saying Strange might not have been there in the second round at 54.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, but so I understand maybe it's easier just to trade back. You stockpile some picks and you're just like, okay, we like Strange. We're just going to take him here. I get that. That's fine.
I have more of a problem with passing on guys on the board at 21 than taking Strange at 29.
That's
Trent McDuffie at corner.
That's more my problem.
Fell to us. We both loved him. Devin Lloyd at linebacker would have been perfect for the Patriots, I think.
Yeah.
Quay Walker.
Rain
There's
Johnson.
a bunch of guys. There's a bunch
Rain
of
Johnson.
defenders that I would have loved.
And this goes back to what did I tell you?
Mm-hmm.
It never makes sense. It's just what
doesn't.
they do. And, the only reason I thought they were going to go offensive line, they traded Shaq Mason.
Yep.
He's getting older, expiring contract. Fine. I have no problem trading Shaq Mason.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly, solidifying that offensive line was obviously a huge priority.
Yeah.
Because they drafted, I think, 4 of them.
They did. Because they're a team that
2 guards and 2 tackles.
They're a team that likes to have, a 6th man, I'll say, for the O-line to plug and play when needed. They like having that. And they lost Ted Karras to Cincinnati. So
traded away Shaq Mason, lost Karras to Cincinnati, which now makes Owenu, who was that 6th guy, the left guard.
Now he's a starting left guard. Yep.
Which I love. I think he should have been starting over Karras.
He absolutely, that I'm still scratching my head at his lack of starts last year, but that's a different topic.
Right, exactly. But anyway, the Patriots love offensive linemen. They always have. What we do, we build from the inside out, always have. Yep. And now I think we're trying to crawl out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Because did you see, if you look at the common theme of every player the Patriots drafted, skill position wise, they are burners.
Yeah.
They made it a point they wanted to get faster.
Like after that performance against Buffalo, they had zero choice but to get faster.
Yes, they have to get faster.
Especially and now add Tyreek Hill to their division too.
Right, exactly.
There was zero choice. They had to.
So, we both, they traded up from 54 to 50, not a big jump, but you still get, you still got to give up some solid capital, and they go take Tyquan Thornton, who was a projected 4th rounder.
Who we both liked, I'll say.
Yes.
We talked about Thornton. We both liked him. But that's not a dude you trade up to get.
No. What you
He's going to be there at 54.
Yeah.
And you're jumping to 50 to take Tyquan Thornton?
Who, listen, he is the fastest receiver on combine since I forget how long.
Like I said, we're fine with the player. I don't think we're fine with the value though.
Exactly.
Especially when, a couple picks after Pickens, Alec Pierce, and Sky Moore all go, who we both like all of those guys.
I like those guys more than Thornton.
I love Alec Pierce.
Those are second round receivers.
Those are second round receivers for sure.
Now, Tyquan Thornton, if they took him in the 3rd, I would have been like, all right, they got a speedster, which that receiver room really needs.
Yeah.
You look at our receiver room, nobody's really a burner besides Aguilar, and he can't catch.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's like, okay, but just to trade up for him in the 2nd, I thought it was bizarre.
Yeah. And then last point for the Pats, besides not drafting a linebacker, what the fuck?
I don't know who's playing linebacker.
Seriously.
I don't know who's playing linebacker.
Besides that, we go get Pierre Strong in the 4th, I believe we took him.
Yes, the 4th.
So besides the running backs we already have, I love Pierre Strong a lot.
Yes.
He was my RB3 in the class. That's how much I like the dude.
Okay.
He's that good.
He's very good.
So I'm fine with taking him even with, Damian and Ramondre.
Also,
Damian's contract's probably ending after this year. And he's
not coming back after this year.
Yep.
Also, Pierre Strong, common trend, absolute speedster, an elite level athlete.
And his open field, like juke skills and
Yes.
everything about him, I love.
Yes.
But then we take another running back the next round.
Yeah. So we have 7 running backs on the roster.
There were linebackers on the board of that pick that I would have loved even deep in that round.
Hey, man, I think basically what this says to me, okay, is based on all the speed and just the positional value that we drafted. You know, we want to be fast on the outside, but we're going to run the shit out of the football.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if 4 guys had 100+ carries this year.
It's looking like that.
You know, like Harris and Ramondre easily going to get 100 carries. James White will be pushing it just because on like 3rd and 9 to, you know, break trends, he'll get carries. And then Pierre Strong is going to get carries.
And
unless they do what they did with Damian Harris and like redshirt him for a year.
Right.
Which they're known to do. So,
and to your point, that can make the Strange pick make much more sense because Strange isn't fantastic in the pass game, but he can run block.
Right.
And that can fit exactly the scheme that we want to bring to the field next year.
We could be every year. I feel like the Patriots get the worst post-draft grades, you know, and sometimes it's well deserving.
Yeah.
But you never really know. Like anybody, like the Jets, we all would say they had an A+ draft. No, all 4 of those guys could suck.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah. You never know until you get into a game.
Right. So, I mean, we could be looking back at this next year and be like, remember when everybody shit on Cole Strange and he was like an all-pro guard this year?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
And I'm sure one of the picks we're scratching our heads at now is going to turn into someone really great. Because the last thing I say before we get into our mock draft is like, there's a lot of Pats fans that's, you know, still doubt Bill Belichick after all this time. Like, how can you? But even a draft like this makes me scratch my head. It's not like different.
Yeah.
points.
Well, you know, I try not to be the annoying Patriots fan. Obviously, it's tough sometimes, a lot of championships, but you know, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, the guy's shown us time and time again, he's actually a pretty damn good general manager too.
Yes.
So no, he doesn't hit on 1st-round receivers. No, he doesn't. Okay. But he nails it pretty much everywhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody, the Kyle Duggar pick 2 years ago, everybody's like, what the hell are we doing taking a D2 safety?
And how good is he, man?
He's great.
So good.
He might play friggin' linebacker.
He might. I wouldn't put it past them at this point, man.
That is an actual possibility.
They could throw Jabril in there at linebacker.
They have 3 safeties that can play linebacker.
They do. Which
Adrian Phillips, Kyle Duggar, and Jabril Peppers.
Maybe it's your
linebackers.
And maybe it's your point of adding the speed. Maybe that's why they didn't draft linebacker. Maybe they had to have safeties play in the middle, like, to cover, you know, Isaiah McKenzie crossing the field.
Yeah.
And those, and Jalen Waddle underneath.
I think they bring back Hightower. I think they do.
They're for another year. They have to.
Yeah. So they bring back Hightower, maybe Jamie Collins, and I think Bentley is back.
Bentley, did he not get re-signed? I believe he did.
I think so. I'm saying I think he's already back. But between the 3 of them, only play one of them.
Right.
They're all besides. I mean, Jamie Collins used to be an elite level athlete he still is. He does backflips like every day at practice. He's athletic as shit.
Yeah, but it was more athletic like 8 years ago, but yeah.
Yeah, but play one of them.
Yeah.
Play one. Bentley and Hightower can rotate on 1st down in the middle, and then throw Phillips in there. Throw Duggar.
Yeah, they're too. Hightower and Bentley are too slow to play next to each other. We saw that last year.
Did you watch the Buffalo playoff game?
Yeah, sadly.
They cannot play the run anymore. Bentley was never good at defending the pass. Hightower used to be really good at it.
He used to be very good.
And now he just can't. He's not agile enough anymore to get into his curl zones.
Yeah.
So
especially like look at our receiver, man, or the receivers in the division.
Yeah.
You know, Isaiah McKenzie, Diggs, Gabriel, all very fast. Waddle and Tyreek, Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
We can't afford to play Hightower and Bentley on the field together anymore. It's not going to work.
The only matchup I love out of any, like, that I think is in our favor against any receiver is Corey Davis and Jalen Mills, because they're both just big and physical. Yeah. And Jalen Mills will probably still get burnt.
Yeah, I'm not huge on him. But...
like, I mean, it is what it is, bro. But I'm very curious to see what this defense looks like.
Me as well.
Offensively, we know what we're going to be.
Yeah.
We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. We're going to run the ball. We're going to play action pass. We're going to run the ball. That's all it is.
I think they're expecting to really set up the play action for Tyquan to burn someone over the top, because that can be a dangerous combination.
He has that ability. That's what he's really
especially with the run game we're looking at. I think that can be very effective.
And maybe that's just what they valued. You know what I mean? We just need a guy that can run straight past anybody.
You know, now that we're talking about it, the picks all kind of make sense when you put them together.
A little bit, actually.
Strange is the run guy, not a great pass blocker. You know, Thornton's at elite speed over the top for the play action.
Yeah.
2 running backs to make the run game even better. We kind of talked ourselves into this making sense.
And then just the 2 corners we drafted, Marcus Jones and Jack Jones.
Yeah.
They're both short, scrappy nickel corners.
Yep.
So, I mean, clearly we value being fast in the slot and covering the slot.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually don't hate it that much.
I don't hate it anymore
either. C+. C+.
Wait, I think Bill did it again. I think he did it again. Oh, wow. Boy.
That was incredible.
That was great. All right. Well, we talked enough about this draft.
All right, guys. So now we're going to do a Dynasty Startup mock draft, and we welcome Eric, as you know, great friend of the show here every episode. But so what I'm going to share my screen here. We're on the Sleeper app. If you don't have it, it's my favorite fantasy app. I think it's way better than ESPN.
Oh, it's great. No.
But so much freedom, like, to just customize your league how you want it, which is great.
So much more information on players too.
Oh my God. Yeah. So, all right, here we go. We're going to jump into this right here. So as you can see, we did a random number generator to see who gets what. Slide this over here. So Andrew is at 3, Eric's at 5, and I'm at 8. So how it's going to work, it's 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 2 flex, a tight end, no kickers or defense. So again, Dynasty Startup. So if you guys are in a Dynasty league, you know, these startup drafts you do before training camp and all that stuff. So we're just trying to get ahead of the curve. So computer's going to pick, and then we'll kind of talk through our picks a little bit and stuff like that. All right, here we go. John Taylor, Derrick Henry too. Surprising to me.
Okay. Well, that makes my pick a lot easier.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
I was going to be between Najee Harris and Jamar Chase, but I'm going to go ahead and take Justin Jefferson here.
Yep. Where's the sound effect? I want to get rid of sound effects on this, but whatever. Okay. McCaffrey at 4. Eric, what do you got, my guy?
That also made my choice easier because now Jamar Chase will be here, and I think that's the best one to go with in a dynasty draft.
Okay, so I really wanted Najee Harris, but the way the board went, that really sucked. I'm not gonna lie to you. So this one's kind of tough. So I'm pretty much in between Javonte Williams and DeAndre Swift here.
Sure.
I know,
Said sure.
I know the Broncos brought back Melvin Gordon, but long term, I mean, Javonte showed us that he's going to be pretty freaking good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Javonte here.
Good pick.
I think I also would have done.
Oh. Well, there you go.
Why are you saying that?
Swift went. I'm sorry. I didn't see Swift go.
Swift went to pick after me, then Eckler, Kupp, and Kamara. You know what? Give me the rookie for the New York Jets. I'll take the call.
Interesting.
Hill and CD went.
Okay.
So I got my receiver. I'm going to go running back here, and I think Joe Mixon.
We're going with the all Bengals, huh, Eric?
I guess so.
Interesting.
Chubb right
All right.
after.
I feel like I'm inclined to go receiver here.
You're coming back around. Still some great receivers on the board.
I am, which is making me change my mind, and I'm going to take Kenneth Walker here.
I love
my
that.
first running back.
I love that.
And hopefully my receiver falls to me who I wanted, and it does. And out of these, I'm going to take Jalen Waddle.
Okay. I don't hate
Love
that
him in
pick.
Dynasty. One of my favorite Dynasty players.
After Walker, we had Adams, Debo, Cam Akers, Josh Allen, Jalen Waddle from Andrew, Stephon Diggs. Eric, you're back on the clock.
I am, and I want to be biased here. I really do. Saquon got a huge O-line upgrade. He's due for a breakout season. It's either him or Kyle Pitts for me. I'm going to be biased. I'm going to take Saquon Barkley.
When are they going to learn?
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and take Kyle Pitts here.
That was my other.
Oh, 3 times in a row.
3 tight ends in a row. So if AJ Brown was there over Pitts, I would have taken him. That was probably the only receiver I really liked left on the board.
Sure, yeah.
So after Pitts, it's Kelsey, Kittle, Antonio Gibson, and Pat Mahomes. I mean, I got to go receiver here.
Yeah.
I don't want to go another Jet, but I do think he's going to be the best receiver in that class, and I like the youth. But I see Terry McLaurin here, and that's really tempting.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Scary Terry. So Andrews and Zeke went after.
So I think I got to go receiver here, maybe. And I agree with you. I like the Wilson to Wilson combo. We're going to test it out.
I like that. I mean,
Right.
I like the pick. I almost took him over Scary Terry. Herbert after Wilson.
So I was considering this guy with my 3rd round pick. And since he's still here, I got to take J.K. Dobbins. Need another back.
I like
Still
it.
a youthful guy.
I like it.
And back to me.
London, Hopkins, Montgomery, Jacobs after. Back to you.
Don't love the running backs at the top of the board right now. I think here I'm going to go ahead. I mean, T. Higgins isn't a horrible pick here, but I'm going to go bet on the young guy. I'm going to take Traylon Burks here.
I like that. And, he could step in and be the number 1 receiver on that team.
He could be the number 1 receiver week 1.
Yeah. I mean, I know they just got Robert Woods, but
I like Bobby Trees underneath for Tannehill. I think there's going to be a good combination.
Aaron Jones right after. Back to you, Eric.
It's a tough spot. I mean, I would go T. Higgins, but I didn't have 2 Bengals already.
Right.
Deontay Johnson's QB situation is a little sketchy.
And that Pittsburgh receiver was tough to gauge.
Yeah.
Now adding Pickens, you got Claypool, who only sucked because of Big Ben. So
yeah. The thing is, I think Deontay Johnson is that good that I don't really think it matters who his quarterback is.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I don't think I take him. No Keenan Allen.
Okay. I mean, that's a safe pick.
That's a safe.
And I'm really upset Deontay Johnson didn't get very upset. Looking at the receivers here, I'm not like super high on a lot of them. I'm kind of leaning towards, like, at this point in like a dynasty startup, you can get a lot of value down the board.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, Mike Evans, I know is going to have 70 catches and 1,000 yards and probably at least 7 touchdowns.
Right.
Yes, he's going to piss me off some weeks, but I'm going to take Big Mike.
Okay.
And I love this because my quarterback is still here. Give me Deshaun Watson.
All right.
So to round out that round, we had T. Higgins, ETN coming back, Kyler, Godwin, me with Watson, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, DJ Moore, and back to Eric.
So let's see here. Tight end, after these two, it's going to get a little sketchy. So I'm going to lock one up here, either Waller and Hawkinson.
Yep.
Waller's definitely going to get less looks, but I still think he's better than Hawkinson.
Yeah, I don't hate that. Right after you, Michael Carter. I feel like that's pretty early with Breece Hall there now, but
Right. I would go tight end, but I got a couple young guys that I know I can get a little later that I'm confident in.
yep.
I think I can wait on QB a little.
Yeah,
I'd like to go running back so I can start with 3 and 3, but I don't love any of the top of my board
Yeah,
really at all. Which makes me inclined to go Chris Olave.
yep.
You would do that.
Starting very young. Back to me Fournette when I was looking at.
Ayuk, Lamar, Pittman, Fournette, back to Andrew.
Here.
A lot of youth on that roster, Andrew.
Yes.
Lot
Which
of
is in
youth.
Dynasty what I look for, definitely.
Yep.
Here, since Hawkinson, he's too good of a value pick for the 7th round, so I'm going to take him there.
I agree.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown right after that.
Oh, there's really no running backs up there.
No, the running backs. I mean, the thing, like, in like a redraft, some of these running backs have a lot of value.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it like, you look at my team here. Obviously, my running backs are super young, but like the 4th round, I get Terry McLaurin, who's easily the number 1 wide receiver on that team, and Mike Evans, who's got a very high floor.
Yeah.
So that when I get to this point in the draft, that's kind of what I'm looking for.
Here I'm looking at some young receivers who are better for the dynasty end, but I think Amari Cooper is going to have an insane season. That's one season.
Yep.
That's where I'm at right now.
And I think after like the first 5-6 rounds, when all the big potential young guys go, then you can start going the guys that are like in their higher 20s that will produce for the next 2 years.
Agreed.
Yeah. See, my receivers, I have Chase and Garrett Wilson, so I kind of have the young receiver down. I think here is a safe place to go, Amari Cooper.
I would agree.
Sure.
Perfect. I was between, for this pick, I was between Devonta Smith and Jameson Williams.
I'm surprised Smith was still there. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I would have taken with AJ Brown going.
AJ Brown.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lean towards Jameson Williams. I'll wait until he's back from injury. I mean, here I'm really upset that Christian Watson didn't get to me.
Yeah.
I really love Elijah Moore. I love Sky Moore. But I mean, I really want another running back because Breece Hall, can he be an every week starter?
Right.
Oh boy. I think I'm gonna go. It's not sexy at all. I'm gonna go James Conner.
That was my next pick.
Yep, that was gonna be my pick.
Okay. So
and Andrew's gonna hate this pick, but so much potential here. James Cook.
No, I told you. I hated him before the draft. After the draft, my opinion on him completely changed. Because he went in the most perfect situation. James Cook could have won it.
Yeah.
So I still don't think he's a great player, but I think his value is going to be great in Buffalo.
Yeah, absolutely.
So tough spot for me. I don't have a proven running back yet.
No, that's where I was at.
Yeah. And the thing, I'm looking at Elijah Mitchell, but they always have like 3 backs that can go. They just drafted another one.
But when he's healthy, he was clearly the one that got all the carries. You know what I mean?
He was, which I think I have to take him here.
Yeah. I was between Mitchell and James Conner.
Yeah.
So after you, we got James Robinson, Miles Sanders, Claypool, Goddard. Right back to you.
All right. I'm gonna look for a receiver here. I always, especially in a 1 QB league, I'm fine with waiting. There's always gonna be one down there that's gonna produce.
Yeah, absolutely.
So here I'm between Jahan Dotson and Darnell Mooney. Both have shit quarterbacks.
What about
Dotson's going to be alongside Terry unless he gets traded, which I don't think he will. So I'm going to go with the surefire number 1. I'm going to take Darnell Mooney.
Over Hollywood, your boy?
Yeah, fuck Hollywood.
You knew I was
He
going to
went right after.
Oh, that's tough.
I forgot to mention this is half PPR, so it kind of bumps up some pass catching running backs a little bit.
So I didn't plan on taking a QB here, but I'm not seeing anything I love and getting Hurts with the rushing upside in fantasy. Adding AJ Brown. I gotta go with him.
Hurts, Dotson. Kareem Hunt was the guy I wanted.
I'm staring at who I want next round.
I'm staring at the same guy. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Probably.
I'm gonna go.
It. And I think BJ's going to take him within one of these next 2. So
I'm going to go with the best running back on the Cowboys roster and take Tony Pollard.
Okay.
And then,
Andrew, I know exactly who you're talking about.
We're probably both staring at the same dude.
Scrolling. Number 1 wide receiver on the Ravens, Rashad Bateman.
And that's who it was.
That was it. I told you BJ was going to take him.
He's great. He's a number 1 wide receiver right now. The fact he's that low, I mean, maybe it just hasn't really even registered yet, but he's the number 1 wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we are.
Did you both? Is that both who you guys want?
Yeah, but I think I just found another one.
Okay.
With AJ Brown out, Robert Woods coming in number 1. Robert Woods.
Yeah, and that's a real safe pick. You're going to have a safe floor every week with Robert Woods.
Yep.
Allen Robinson just so low.
Yeah.
I mean, he had an awful year last year. Awful year. All right. This is 13 rounds. So
okay. Oh, so we have what? I have 4 more picks.
You got 4 picks left.
Oh, well, that changes how I'm drafting. I'm going QB here.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why I was telling
Stafford.
you. Yeah, that's why I was telling you.
Yep.
Right back
to the comeback. I have Stafford for now, and I have Trey Lance for later.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
Yep.
You son of a bitch.
Spoiler: that's exactly what I want to have for a redraft next year. In a normal league.
Stafford and Lance.
Yep.
If they move Jimmy.
Even without, he's still so young. He's got so much potential.
Yeah. Are you talking dynasty redraft or dynasty startup?
No, for normal redraft. That's what I want.
Interesting.
Have Stafford bet on Lance.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. Stafford is probably the safest quarterback you could have.
Right.
I'm gonna go Fields here.
Interesting. Dynasty. I'm gonna take Calvin Ridley.
Sure.
Yeah, this is a fair
Great
spot.
value. Great value. Just missing 1 year.
And then, I don't love Isaiah Spiller, but the running back on the Chargers gets a lot of touches.
Mm-hmm.
So I do kind of like him there, but another option, Rashad Penny. But I mean, how much more does he have? I'm going to take a shot on Tyler Algier.
Yeah, I like that pick just because of the production that he can have right away.
Yeah, and they're going to use Cordarrelle Patterson, but they drafted a running back. They drafted him fairly high. They drafted him over other running backs, so they clearly like the guy. They're going to use him.
Yep.
Spiller and Penny, both the other guys I thought about right after.
Yep. They heard you.
Running back here, and I don't really like it.
You only have 3 running backs, Eric.
I only have 3 running backs as well.
Damn.
And I'm not even going to take another one because I want to take two other guys. Actually, no, I'm not taking another running back.
Really? I thought you'd
I'm going to sign one in free agency after.
I
I
think
thought you'd be-
Pierce is in the best situation, so I think that's the most
now
sensible pick.
I was gonna take a backup quarterback, but for this guy to go undrafted, I feel like is ridiculous.
Brian Robinson.
No,
All right,
Ramondre
well,
Stevenson.
all right. I am going to go running back because I only have three. I have to. I'm gonna go to rookies. I'm gonna look who's still there that I like.
So who are we looking at for rookie running backs? No, rookies.
I love Carvin Williams. Do I love the fit? Not exactly, because they have such a young guy in Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Pierre Strong surrounded by a lot of dudes. I think I'm gonna go. I'll take him because I like him so much. I'm taking Carvin Williams.
Okay. I don't hate it. Chris Carson, David Bell, Adam Thielen.
There's Kadarius.
There's Kadarius.
If Kadarius' situation was more clear, I would have taken him by now.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then Trey McBride's still up here. Love the fit,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go for my backup tight end. I'm going to take Greg Dulcich, one of my favorite players in the class out of UCLA.
Also
now in
great
Denver.
pick.
I'm going to take Trey McBride.
Okay. Oh no, Trevor Lawrence. No.
So that's pretty low for Lawrence, huh?
Yeah, I know that. I just saw him and I'm like, wow.
Especially in Dynasty redraft, he's not going this low.
I have to. Yeah. I'm just gonna take a backup quarterback here. I'm looking at a shot. I like Malik Willis in Tennessee. So let's just kind of run through our teams here a little bit. Andrew, you can go first.
All right. So starting lineup, Stafford's always a safe pick for fantasy. Can't go wrong with that.
Yep.
Running backs, really my whole starting lineup, we're set up for the future here. All right.
Clearly.
I mean, Walker and Dobbins in 3 years can both be electric. I mean, I love Jefferson and Waddle for next year, not even the future. Like next year, that's a fantastic duo.
Yes, of course.
And then Burks and Olave in the flex. Like, what a great setup for the future.
Yep.
Like Hawkinson, I took for the value, even though I'm not in love with him. But I love Greg Dulcich. I think by this time next year, a lot of more people are going to be talking about Greg Dulcich.
Yeah.
Mitchell, just because the amount 49ers run, he's a starting guy. I had to take him.
The way you drafted your running backs, you had to get a proven veteran.
Yeah.
So.
And Mooney, because he's a clear co-wide receiver one.
Yep.
Yeah, that wraps up my team.
All right, Eric, we'll jump to you.
So we got Hurts, good rushing upside. The throwing might not be there, but he's a textbook fantasy quarterback.
Yeah.
We got Mixon, Saquon. Mixon, he'll be solid for you. Saquon's a little risky. It's a little biased. But that whole line has gotten significantly better.
The ceiling on Saquon, if he can stay healthy in a better offensive line, is tremendous.
Yep.
So I don't know if I'll be that risky in a real draft, but it definitely could pay off. Chase and Wilson, love that. Both very young. Chase for next year, Wilson for the future. Keenan, I went Waller, solidified top 5 tight ends. Important to have top 5 tight end. I went Allen Cooper because we have Chase and Wilson, the two youngins. Yep. So we get some old guys.
Yep.
James Cook, great situation, young running back.
Absolutely.
He could definitely thrive there. We got Robert Woods. AJ Brown's gone. He's the number one. They'll be going to him.
Yep.
Get my young quarterback. And then the last two are just rookies with some upside and good situations.
Yep. So jumping to my team, I mean, we drafted a little differently. Yeah, I took Breece Hall pretty early. Javonte is probably another year removed from, being the bell cow running back in Denver. But so I got Deshaun Watson, who I think could be the fantasy QB1 this year. Terry McLaurin, I think he's got top 10 receiver potential this year. Mike Evans has always got to look, like I said, 70 catches, 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns at least. Kyle Pitts, he's probably the number 1 dynasty tight end. Is that fair to say?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And then Jamison Williams, I mean, he's Goff's number one target this year, probably.
Yep.
But beside like receiver, not counting Hawkinson.
Yeah.
And then James Conner, it's just, I mean, the guy produces, puts up numbers.
Mhm.
I don't think it'll be last year, but Tony Pollard, like I said, I think Tony Pollard's better than Zeke. So that one was pretty easy for me to take.
Yeah.
Rashad Bateman, he's the number one receiver in Baltimore right now. They have to make another move, in my opinion, but at this moment, Bateman's great. Calvin Ridley, yes, he's suspended for the year, but in the 11th round, I mean, like, he's a top 10 receiver when he's on the field. And then Tyler Algier, just I like the situation. They went above some other guys and picked him, so I kind of like that. And then franchise or future quarterback Malik Willis, I just think I like him in Tennessee with that coaching staff a little bit more than some of the other rookies. So, I mean, that's pretty much how the draft might look if you're doing a dynasty redraft. I mean, anything stick out to you guys at all?
And Derrick Henry too. It just shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
For me, there's a clear cut number one,
Yes.
Jonathan Taylor.
Mhm.
And then 2, 3, 4, if you any combination for me of Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, and Najee Harris, I'm fine with.
Yep.
But
Even if you want to take Javonte over Najee, I'm not going to argue it.
really.
Yeah.
I agree with it.
Well, the next 2 years, Javonte's going to have more competition, but I think career-wise, Javonte is better, and I think he will be better by the end of their career.
They got the better O-line, too. I mean, the Steelers' O-line is actually
he has competition, but they're going to have a much better run game.
But also the Najee catches hella passes, but that could have been just Big Ben.
Yeah, same with why I'm blanking on the dude's name.
Who?
Steelers receiver.
Deontay Johnson.
Thank you. That's why he had so many receptions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, but overall, I think it was pretty, made a lot of sense. You got all the young guys, the high potential young guys going early.
Yep.
Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Waddle, he's still technically a young guy.
Yep.
But no, I think it makes a lot of sense. Zeke in the 4th round for me still doesn't make sense.
That was like the first thing when I was watching all the picks happen. I was like, that's not happening.
Yeah, I don't like Zeke. I've made it very clear I don't like Zeke.
I mean, and even as an Ohio State fan, just like the disappointment, because like he led the team to the championship. Like he put the team on his back when he was there. Had a great rookie year for the Cowboys, and then just declined, and it's sad to see. But he's not what he was.
No, not at all. Not at all. But, it's the thing that's great about Dynasty is you got guys like Amari Cooper going in the 7th. Mike Williams, who's a great flex in the 9th.
Yep.
Tyler Lockett in the 10th. Robert Woods in the 10th. Cortland Sutton in the 10th. Adam Thielen, who's produced every year in the 13th.
Yeah.
That's why it's why Dynasty's fun, because like you guys clearly drafted for youth.
Yep.
Right. Where I was kind of little running backs, pretty youthful, but I try to sprinkle in that production now as well.
I would say you drafted youthful as well, though. I would really besides Evans.
But the thing with Terry, yes, he's young, but he's already on his 4th. He's coming up on his 4th year.
Yeah.
He's in a contract year this year. He wants to get paid. So how much is he that young?
I think he's like what? 24?
He was also like the youngest player in his class.
He was extremely young when he started. So
yeah. So, but you know what I mean? Like he's been in the league. He's a proven production guy.
Yeah.
But no, I always love doing these. Even if I don't have a dynasty startup, I just find them interesting. See where a lot of people value these young guys. Like Breece Hall. They have Breece Hall, I believe, ahead of Javonte.
Interesting.
So yeah, I mean, which I don't hate, but so that's our dynasty startup. You guys got any more notes we want to touch before we sign off here?
Nah, I'm all footballed out right now.
Yeah. Hey, Tuds, I'm glad we talked out the Patriots draft, though.
Me too. I feel a lot better now.
Feel a lot better about it.
I
Derek, don't
love
say
how it
I'm
just
sad
clicked
again,
for us
bro.
at the whole time. We're like, wait a minute.
This makes so much sense.
They're onto something here.
I'm sure you talked about how good the Giants draft.
How good the Giants got?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We touched on it.
Great.
But all right, guys, thank you for listening to another The BJ and Tud Show, and we'll see you next time.